Welcome to the countdown to Halloween 2020. This is the last Saturday before the final Saturday, which is Halloween night. Next Saturday, in fact, will be Halloween night. So I do invite you already now for next Saturday because it's the last Saturday, and then Halloween will be over, and we're all gonna cry. Ooh, tears of sadness and joy, I guess, for some, because some just can't wait for Halloween to be over. For me, Halloween lasts a whole year. Um, so tune in next Saturday. Also, 3 p.m. LA time, 6 p.m. New York time, midnight EU time. And for all our friends in the UK, it's 11 p.m. Um, while you're at it, let's just get through a couple of statistics here. Like literally, been checking out my analytics. Now, all of you who are watching now are subscribers because you got the notification that the video will begin. So no need to tell it to you guys, but just in case somebody new just tuned in by accident, literally like under 7% of the people that watch my channel are actually subscribed to my channel. What does this mean? If we had 20%, just 20% of people who are watching me actually being subscribed to my channel, we would have like over 100,000 subscribers. So I'm saying, usually I make the mistake to say at the end of my videos, hey, if you like this, if you like my channel, if you like my videos, subscribe to my channel. I say it at the end of the video where most people already tune out towards the end of the video. Bad tuning out towards the end of the video, or bad to tune out right after half the video because then you miss out half of the content of the video. But I'm going to start saying that I have to train myself to say it at the beginning of the video. So I'm saying it now already. If you haven't, but wish to, please consider subscribing to my channel, pushing the notifications button so that YouTube tells you whenever I do upload a video. Because at the end of the day, when we have more subscribers, more views, the budget grows. If the budget grows, the content gets better. And then hopefully, this is what I'm hoping for, is if the channel gets big enough, I can actually finance kind of really cool giveaways. Nothing crappy, but good stuff. Like the real good stuff. But yeah, so this is wishful thinking. We're working towards it. Hopefully you're all going to be supportive and we're going to get there. Sooner or later, but you know what I mean. You guys, so there's a lot to touch base on. Let me just read a couple of comments. Oh, Asian Delight, love you. Love you too, sweetie. Oh, Amelia's in the house too. Hello. Whoop, whoop. Love you too, guys. Amira, hey, hey. Looking great. Thank you. Oh, yes. Let me tell you what I'm wearing. Candy, well, let me say hello to everybody. Helen French, hello. Candy Fluff, MK. Okay, some stuff is being retracted. I can't read too fast. Okay, it's going really fast, you guys. Well, I love you all. I'm gonna look from time to time into the chats because like they keep there's a lot happening. One thing that's important to note before we head on to it, if you haven't yet, remember the merch, you guys. There's just a short amount of time left for Dacob the Extract, the merch. It will disappear and it will not be available anymore. It's gone for good at the end of the 31st of October. So our next Saturday's 31st of October live stream will be the last live stream where you can actually get the merch if you want the merch, the hoodies, the crew necks, the t-shirts, the mugs, the stickers. It's all there. I can't wait for the new fragrance trends of the 2020s. Ooh. I told you, though, I do believe that one of the biggest fragrances of the future, I know a lot of people hate it, but it is Sauvage. Christian Dior's Sauvage. And that direction of that type of chemical combination. The Pure Perfume. I'm a fan of the Pure Perfume. I know a lot of you don't like it, but... Pedro says, I want a black woman to be the face of number 5. Pedro, but why? I mean, is it because of the Black Lives Matter movement? So, you know, because you gotta be careful what you're saying here. You're a white dude, and you're saying this. I don't think from a privileged position. I think the black ladies out there should decide that. I don't think we have the right to say that. Now, having said that, also another thing to consider here is the white community saying this now because of the Black Lives Matter movement? So we would like to see, or is it something, because otherwise, why haven't people been saying this for decades already? You know, because it's something that should have been done decades ago. But having said that, I have to say that also Chanel was one of the first brands that definitely blended all different skin types on fashion shows, on runways at least. Now, when it comes to their ad campaigns for Chanel number 5, the perfume, different story. I do, however, believe that in the future, things are moving in the right direction where the visuals of desirability within a perfume luxury context and a brand so traditionalist as is Chanel, we will be seeing more of everything. Hopefully, that is the hope. And I think they already broke many boundaries when a couple of years back they put a man to promote a perfume that was born as a female perfume. When Brad Pitt promoted when he was the face of Chanel number 5, it backfired on Chanel completely because they were like, oh no, a lot of men are asking us, is this a male fragrance now? And they all got scared and they took away the advertisement like it never happened. Now Chanel, it's like, it's a stain on their roster. So they never even mentioned that they did the Brad Pitt advertisement. I'm like, be proud of it. And you should have said, yeah, this perfume can be worn by everybody, not just by women. But I think they pushed it too soon. Like the times weren't ready for it, I think. I think if they did it today, there would be a much better resonance for it. There would be a much better reception for it. It's just that these brands, we think, you know, they're ahead of their time. But most of the times they have really very conservative people sitting at the tops, being super scared of making big steps, like daring steps. And they block off a lot of creativity because they just want to play it safe and keep the money rolling, you know? And this is a big problem for many brands, not just luxury brands, also other brands, like lower end brands and sport brands, because they just want to play it safe. I was wondering if the experience was different in the boutiques. Oh, from yesterday to today. Yeah, of course the experience was different. As I said, back then, the sales associate would spend more time with you to figure out how you are so that they could recommend the pieces that most suit you. Nowadays, it's just about people coming in the boutique. Literally, they go, how can I help you? And then you're like, here, do you have this product? Then you show your iPhone and then like all the stuff you want. And then like, oh, yeah, have it, don't have. Okay, we can order this for you. Okay, here, you can buy this. Okay, there you go. Bye, thank you. That's how it's done today. Back then, you enter to discover something. Now you arrive already knowing what you want. Basically, that's more or less the gist. And it's a pity. Ultra Supra, it was just a thought out loud, to be honest. I don't think it will happen unless Olivier resigns. Oh, the switching of the perfumers. I don't think there will be something groundbreaking. The generation does not have anything interesting to offer. All we have left to do is to be reminiscing about the old glory past. Yeah, Robert, I mean, unfortunately, like I also catch myself a lot just reminiscing and just being like, oh, you know, I live in my bubbles. I live in my 80s bubble. Especially now in October, I'm only watching, well, not only watching, but I'm pushing for the 80s horror movie slashers, 80s style, 80s aesthetic, 80s colors. I mean, even my merch, the color patterns I chose are 80s pastels and 80s saturated colors completely. I'm like totally living in the past. And my favorite perfumes, they all come from the 20s and the 80s. And it's just, you know, like everything that's being released today, it just doesn't get me. I don't fall in love with it. I can be excited about it and use it for a couple of months, but then I fall out of love with it, you know? And, but then I noticed that I always end up returning to the old loves, you know? I always return to Pour Monsieur. I always return to Chanel number 5. I always return to number 22, Gardenia, Cuir de Russie. I always return to the 80s, to Giorgio Beverly Hills, to Lulu from Cacharel, to Poison from Dior. I always return to Eden from the 90s. And kind of Classique from the 90s. Those are the loves of my life. And everything else kind of was built on top of that. but nothing was really built on its own solid ground. I have the feeling everything kind of lives off of what was already built. And I miss that type of creativity where the perfume houses or the fashion houses actually do tabula rasa, move everything aside, have their own ground, and then they start building on top of that rather than building on top of what's already there. So yeah, we are living in that type of times where there's very little wiggle room left for something new, for something groundbreaking, for a breath of fresh air, because we were kind of spoiled. I mean, we've seen it all, we've had it all, and it's like everything we see, we can find connecting points to what we've already seen somewhere else. So we could say, yeah, but this has been already done. Yeah, but this is, yeah, okay, this looks, yeah, this is interesting, but it like looks like that, and it's if, and you end up, you know, mostly returning to the first loves of your life. Brendan loves the perfume ads David Lynch has directed. I love them too. I mean, David Lynch's opium commercial is amazing. And David Lynch's obsession commercials are amazing too. Yeah, the sales associates were different. MK says that the sales associates were of different backgrounds and the customers were totally different. 31 Rue Cambon used to be my playground as a little boy. The interior design was also quite different, darker, with carpets everywhere. Emilio says, come on, nepotism. Yes, Miss Bulge. Yeah, following dad's footsteps. So Ultra Super says, yeah, Dacob, that title, the in-house perfumer of Chanel, it has to be the best job in the perfume world by far. I mean, it is. So he knew, okay, darn, I'm going to end up at Chanel. I won't be able to like do all my experimentations with perfumes anymore, but I'll go down in history. So there you have it. Because until Olivier Polge went to Chanel, I mean, hardcore perfume lovers knew that he made Dior Homme, right? But the world didn't know him. Now everybody knows him. Who knows Chanel perfume? Well, I don't know. Maybe only perfume heads still care about that. But like Chanel pushes him. They push his face. You know how he looks like. Like they push him. You know, he's a part of their history now. And I mean, like that means you live forever. Being an independent perfumer, it's harder to enter the Olympus of social memory like that, you know? Although it's really scary, you guys, because like already the newer generations, like there's already kids who don't know who Michael Jackson is. And there's also kids that don't know who Madonna is, and Madonna's still alive and working. Like this is how fast we forget, like something exits generations, like the pattern of a generation or the memory of a generation, and very few manage to penetrate time, like Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe is forever. She managed, and maybe also because she died so young and so tragically, but also because she died in an era where news and everything moved slower. You know, there wasn't social media back then, so if she made a movie in America, it would take a year for it to come to Europe. Like stuff would flow slower, and there was more time. Things were given more time to anchor themselves within the consciousness of the people. Nowadays, everything is so quick that by the time you already received a new product, there's already 50 new products waiting in line to be purchased by you. So this product that you just bought, you don't give it the right time it needs. You already, okay, next. And so I think similar to that consumer mentality, we also deal with people, with celebrities nowadays. And so it's kind of scary to me how quickly we forget. And it's, you know, it's like, very few things are going to enter kind of the memory, the historic memory or consciousness of society. It's going to be forgotten. Most of the stuff will be forgotten before it's even dead, let alone the stuff that's already died. It's scary in a way, but at the same time, I'm like, well, our society is growing. We're more and more humans on this planet. We're overpopulating the planet more and more and more and more and more. And everything is becoming quicker and quicker and quicker. Like, what are you going to do? That's kind of just the logical, I guess, conclusion. You know, things will become faster. And Andy Warhol was right when he said, you know, one day everybody's going to get their 15 minutes of glory. And then it's all going to be over. And that's kind of what's really happening today. Do you think Chanel make Dacob, do you think Chanel makeup and skincare is worth the money? No. No, it's not. You're buying a dream. I mean, let's be honest about this. Skincare and makeup by Chanel, beautiful packaging, really gorgeous packaging. It makes you feel fabulous to have it, but it's not worth the money in terms of the quality, the content, the quality. I mean, there's a handful of products I would really recommend. Like, I live for their facial wash mousse, their Leblanc oil for the face, um, and their Grande Vanille scrub to clean the face. Like, those are the three products. And the CC cream, because it has a 50 sun protection factor, and it is also, it's makeup, but it's also nourishing in a way. So those are products. And the eyebrow palette, I always do my eyebrows with Chanel. And that's it. But that's it. Like, that's really what I would, what I will keep repurchasing. When I finish a bottle, I always buy it anew and stuff like that. And also these powders, which I use mostly only for filming. But no, they can definitely be at least 30% cheaper. And they would still turn a huge profit if their products were 30% cheaper. They would still turn a huge profit. So, but as I said, when you're buying Chanel, cosmetics, I mean, anything really, you're buying a dream. A big chunk of that money you're spending is for a dream. And you got to ask yourself, is it worth it to you to spend money on a dream? To me, it is. But I understand if a lot of people out there say no. To me, it's not. I respect that too. Dacob, for the boutique's aesthetic, starting from 2000, everyone, Chanel included, seemed to be following the ideas of Hedi Slimane and Tom Ford in terms of boutique layouts. Yeah, but then MK, I mean, Tom Ford's own boutiques are like completely black and dark. So, no lag anymore, but I'm frozen. Okay. Seem to be following the ideas of Hedi. Yeah, so I don't know. Tom Ford is all about dark colors, so things change. And also, Tom Ford era Gucci was very dark. I do have human interactions, sometimes too many, with my sales associates at Rocambon. I usually spend at least 2 hours there, if not the entire afternoon, but I rarely stay in the bags section. Yeah, I'm also not in the bags section when I'm there. They tend to interact more with ready-to-wear clients, bigger margins maybe, higher commission. So no, the biggest margins are with the bags. Those are the biggest margins. Ready to wear doesn't deliver such big margins. It's like in restaurants. Most restaurants earn most of their money through the margins that they earn off of drinks. The food margins are much lower, the percentage of earning money off of the food. So the food is like the ready-to-wear collection, the clothing line. And the drinks are the bags and accessories. Also perfumes. Huge margin. You can earn so much on the fragrances cost them nothing. I mean, they cost them something, but 200 mil for 320 euro, Les Exclusives Eau de Parfum bottle. I mean, 30, 20, 30. I don't know how much they spend on that. Like 30, 40, the tops to get the packaging, the liquid, everything in it. And then forget it. But the bags, huge margins. On clothing, smaller margins, but they are trained to push that more because they're trained to be proud of the heritage of the brand in terms of clothing. Ready to wear is Chanel's. That's where she comes from. And so they have to give you more respect there. And I do not know if they receive bigger commissions themselves on selling ready to wear. They only do extras. They reach these extra bonuses if they manage to sell you like a certain amount of money, obviously, but also if they manage to sell you, let's say, a ready-to-wear piece and an accessory. That's like those extras that if they manage to slide those in the sale as well, then they get their bonuses, which is different from the commission. But I do believe that they get a smaller commission on bags because bags literally sell themselves on their, it's like a bag is a self-seller. So you got to work harder to sell clothes. And of course, then I do believe that their commission might be higher for clothes. When was Cristal reformulated? On Fragrantica, it says 2012. I do not know if Cristal was officially reformulated. 2012 was the year that Overt was released, or? I can't remember anymore. Pedro says, I do not like shopping centers and that feeling of lost in time, no sunlight, airport style. Yeah, it's very nauseating to me too. Back in the day, things were different. Yep. Mike's brother-in-law wears Sauvage. Which Sauvage? Because Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, and the Parfum, all three are different. They are different. Helen says, good night to all. Good night, Helen. Have a wonderful night. Jeff says, Dacob, something that puts me off the new Chanel shows is the models. They're so bored. Nothing can beat the 90s models. Yeah, I was just watching 1995 Spring Summer Fashion Runway by Chanel Pret-a-Porter. But those are different times. Those were the times when top models were in. Now, most of these luxury brands and big fashion brands, they don't allow models to have a character and a personality, because if you do, then you cost too much. So they want to keep them as invisible as possible. Now, a few models manage to bubble their way up to the surface and become super famous anyway, which today's famous models are dreadful. The Gigi's, the Hadids, no, I cannot stand them. I cannot stand the sight of them. But that's what sells today. What can I tell you? And the models that actually deserve to be like so visible are not. And then they're taught to be invisible because the clothes have to work on their own. Like, it's no character. You're not allowed to have a character in any of these brands. If you have character, you get fired. Times have changed. Really boring, shallow. We live in boring, shallow times. Brendan says, Brad Pitt for number 5 was iconic. I totally agree. I'm at the point where I'm getting more into natural houses. Vanny, hi Vanny. Vanny says, yes, I made it in time. I love getting off work and coming home to the live stream. Cling! Welcome to the Fashion Bunker Coven, Vanny. Yeah, the Brad Pitt for number 5, Brendan says, was the best thing ever. It's unisex. Pedro says, it is because we stop and think, I'm tired of Giselle's and Nicole's and Kirsten's. Oh. Candy Fluff says, it's Perfume. Right. I cannot say it, but yeah, I read it. Yes. Pedro says, I am loving the new ads for fashion. Sofia Coppola rocks. Perfume division is SHIT. Catch My Whip says, I definitely seek out female branded fragrances. Many work on my skin without coming off too feminine to my nose. Of course, it's all about your own chemistry. And then again, what is too feminine? What does that even mean? There is no such thing, you guys. It's a perfume. It's like we're brainwashed to believe that a flower smell is more feminine and vetiver is a more male, or cedar wood. Like wood is more for men and floral is more for women. Who said that? It's just some brand marketing ploy that started selling that marketing ploy and you bought it all up like Kool-Aid. It's really, I don't let that affect me at all. I cited you as a source, Dacob. Where did you wait? Okay, let me read. The last thesis I wrote in college was about gendered marketing, using the fragrance industry as an example, and Chanel, particularly number 5, as a case study. And I cited you as a source, Dacob. Oh, Manny, I'm so proud of you. And thank you for citing me. Robert says, it's like this one song, I can't say goodbye to yesterday, my friend. Keep holding on till the end. Out of the darkness, there is no other way than the light leading to yesterday. The tendency to be nostalgic is in our blood, I think, as humans. Yeah. I mean, the more poetic ones, at least, the ones of us that are more poetic, we're definitely more prone to nostalgia. Because some people just don't care. But those are the more shallow ones in general. Catch my whiff. Everyone is afraid of color. All the home building shows have gray and white, and that's it. Ugh. Catch my whiff. Let me tell you one thing. That's one of the biggest reasons. Well, I have for many reasons, but one of the big reasons why I love Werner Panton, my favorite furniture designer and artist, is because he loved color and utilized color a lot. And I have a lot of his furniture. I just adore Panton. And he used to say, if it were up to him, he would install a tax on black and white colors, or lack of color, because it's so boring. He would be like, okay, you want to purchase a white paint for your wall, or you're gonna have to pay an extra tax for it because white is boring. I love that about him. Oh, Daniel. Hey, Daniel. How's it going? Welcome. If you've been here before, I haven't seen, but now I see you. So welcome, sweetie. Very late. Loving the couture again. Oh, thank you, Daniel. Yes, we're very, like, with this, like, really long hair, a little bit scarecrowish. Scary, no? And with my gorgeous friends here, the little cockroaches. Yeah. Okay, guys. It's been a long time. I'm getting really tired. And I want to say thank you so much for tuning in, for enjoying this end game. Because, well, last week is the last episode, actually. Our countdown to Halloween ends next week. Tune in. 3 p.m. LA time. Next Saturday. 6 p.m. New York time. Midnight EU time. 11 p.m. UK time. That's when the live stream begins, our last live stream, because next Saturday is Halloween and it's a full moon, and as Melly said, it's a blue moon too. So Chucky, Madballs Chucky and I would like to bid you all adieu. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for spending the time together. We're on lockdown, so we're not like partying, celebrating with other people on the streets. Like, well, Halloween is coming. So we got each other. We got the screen. We got this amazing gift that technology has given us, which is kind of the internet connection, electricity, and all that stuff that allows us to communicate, even though we're not in the same room at the same time physically. And this is a beautiful thing that we wouldn't have had in the 20s, but we do have it today. So yeah, times are not all that bad. There's good stuff out there, and our communicating, talking to each other is the good stuff, I think, because that's how we grow. That's how society blooms and blossoms. It's exchange of ideas, exchange of passion, exchange of positive vibes, good vibes. That's where it's at, you guys, at the end of the day. So I do hope you had a good time. And I do hope that next week we get to spend this time together again. Until then, I'll repeat myself again. Merch, one last week. 31st of October is the cutoff date for Dacob, the extract, the perfume for spirits and ghosts, in crewneck, hoodie, t-shirt, sticker, and mug form. Other than that, follow me on Instagram, Super Dacob, all spelled together, if you haven't already. Also, subscribe to my channel. Again, we got to raise that quota on YouTube. Subscribe, push the notifications button if you haven't already, and you like this video and you like my channel. Chanel is Coco Chanel is in my house, another Instagram profile of mine. You can go and follow that one if you wish to see everything connected to Chanel, the brand of today, in my collection. And then there's Coco Chanel Privé, all spelled together, dedicated to Chanel's life and all the stuff that she created and designed while she was alive. And then, of course, thank you so much to my patrons. A lot of you are in the chat tonight. Thank you so much for being there. I love you very much. Thank you for your support, for helping the channel live and survive, especially in this time where, you know, how difficult it is with the lockdown and the disease that must and shall name unnamed. So I love you all so much. Until next week, never forget to never give up on love. Take care. Bye.